I'm fine. Hi there, welcome back. Okay, this one we're going to be unwrapping some rocks and putting some textures on. And this is entering the ludicrously easy period of the tutorial, really, because we hit F4, it's just a planar map. In fact, we can just go to Unwrap, UVW, and just select it all, stick a planar map on it, turn that off, and then open our UV editor and it's done. That's all there was to it, really. The only thing we're going to have to do is kind of scale it so that it fits inside our template. So just do that and then move it. There we go. We can even have it up, down if you want, whichever way you want it. It's not really a problem. Because it's relatively flat, there's no kind of squished in edge verts that we need to really worry about here. We're not going to get too much, what do you call it? We're not going to get too much stretching or anything like that. So if I just then go to my, if I turn that off, Tools, and I want to render my UVW template. So there we go. And just 1024. And then I'm just going to render this out. So as per usual, I'm in here under, I think it's Rocks 1, is it? Yep, Rocks 1. And it's Rocks 1 UV template. That's a JPEG, and that's it. Okay, and then all I have to do is just open up my Photoshop here and open up my Rocks 1 UV template, which should be just, where the heck's it gone? Rocks. Here it is, Rocks UV1 template. And I'm going to select the outside, Control-Shift-I, select the inside, create a new layer, and then just use my paintbrush tool to fill it in and hide the background layer. Okay, now what I want to do is basically add some rock over the top of this. Now we can just use our grey stone if you want, just to make like lumps of slaggy concrete, or we could go on the internet and pick up some different stuff if you want. So let's just go to the internet and images.google.com and just type in rock wall. See what we end up with. You can normally find all sorts of cool things if you just look for rock wall. Just try and find something that isn't copyrighted to death if we can help it, and see if we can find anything that looks interesting. If we have trouble finding rock wall, we could try putting rubble in, although it might show us Barney rubble, which could be a problem. Rubble texture. See if there's any rubble textures. There we go. Give it a minute. I'll give it quite a few minutes anyway. Right, there's one, look. 1600 by 200. Alright, so let's have a look at this. Image after. Let's visit the page that this is on. Okay. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Free images and free textures. Terms of use. Let's have a look at that. It's always best looking at the terms of use for a website. What you can do, you can modify images and textures, you can use our images and textures in your own work, and you can redistribute or sell the images. Well, that's nice. But we can't compete with them. Well, don't intend to. What a lovely bunch. So, copy image, file, new, and this will create a new image in the same dimensions as the image we just copied. Give it a second though. There we go. Like that, and then we can do a save as, so Control S, and I'm going to save this as rubble into our reference PSDs here, so rubble, like that. And then if I just copy it again, what I can do is go to my rocks template, just dump it in there, like that, and then I'm going to just apply this as a clipping mask. There we go. So we can see this is kind of basically being thrown in. Get some of the big rocks kind of in parts where we need them. It's a bit rough, but it'll do. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take my roll PSD here and go to image, image size, and I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Now I've got constrained proportions on, so let's go to 800. There we go. And what I want to do now is get my clone stamp tool, which is here, and I'm going to press Alt just in the middle of my image here and click, and then I'm going to go to my UV template over here, and basically I can draw in the smaller stones over the top of some of the bigger ones, so we can have smaller rubble near the sides here, like that, just basically copying over some of the other rocks and just trying to get an interesting shape that isn't quite so large. There we go. Maybe go around the edge here, just break this piece up. Just break it into a couple of different rocks. So you see we're just getting these kind of rubbly parts here. Now what I'm going to do is probably go around it and just make some very base kind of underpiece. So I'm going to Control A, Control C, just copy the lot. And if I put it in here, like that, and then here, like that, it's ideal. Control E, and just apply it on top of this, you see, so that we have these two layers now acting together. So our small layer and our large layer. Now you'll notice our large layer is at the top, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my eraser tool, and I'm just going to go around the edges and just chip away parts on this, which is the top layer. So, oops, I accidentally moved that, there we go. Just going to go around it like this, see. Just kind of blending the two materials a bit together. And that gets our littler pieces of rock in. Like that, maybe move this one. And that way we don't have so many big rocks at the sides. Swap out some of our rubble, just leave some of the big rocks in. Good thing is that the light's coming from the same direction, you see, so that's a help. There we go. Lovely, that should do. That empty area there, I'll just put some rocks in. Maybe there as well. Okay, so that's good enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock up DDO. So let's just fire, sorry, NDO. So let's just fire up NDO. And still haven't updated it. Hilarious as it may seem. While that's happening, I'm going to do a Control-Shift-S. Because I want to save off this texture here. And it's in rocks, so it's going to be rocks 1 diffuse. Which is just our base texture really, isn't it? So rocks 1 diffuse. And it's Targa. And then I'm going to save it as rocks 1 base texture as a PSD, so we still have that too. And then I can go to my presets, and what we want to do really is just go for smooth stones. Okay, so we'll try that first. Active document, let's see how we do. Going to take a minute or two, as you know. Look out the window. I don't have a window. I'm going to imagine I have a window. If I had a window, it would probably be shining light all over my monitor. That's no use, is it? So how are you doing on the other side of this tutorial? Good, good. Right, let's have a look. Nice smooth stones and stuff. Large detail, going to bring that down and up the medium and fine detail. And the very fine detail makes it a bit rougher, you see, which is nice. Let's see what it looks like on a box. There you go, you can see the light all shining into the invisible cracks that don't really exist. Okay, so Control-Shift-S. Oh, bugger off you. Control-Shift-S. And this is rocks 1 underscore normal. And that's a target. There we go. Now I'm going to convert this target to a diffuse, a specular, and an AO. Because that'll come in really handy. And just fire that off. So, active dock. There we go. Wait patiently. Because creating the diffuse from this means we'll have a much more detailed map that has slightly less lunatic levels of colour in it. And then I can basically stick the two together, which is kind of helpful. Nearly there. So the specula's made. Ambient occlusion, isn't that nice? Okay. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got our, click this arrow here, specular, photo, normal. So there's our photo normal, our specular, our ambient occlusion. We did not get a diffuse, so let's make us a diffuse nonetheless. So convert this to a diffuse from the active dock. You'll make one of them as well. I'll call this something like new diffuse. Yes, we know that's a displacement map. Come on. Nearly there. Okay, there's a diffuse. That's cool. Because what I can do is take this diffuse here, layer, and just flatten everything. So, flatten image. Control A, Control C, and I'll go to my rocks base texture here. Just stick it on the top like that. And then I can basically just darken it or multiply or whatever, just to... There we are, darker colour looks good. So without, with, you see, and it kind of mutes it a bit, which is very useful. Okay, so I'll just do a Control Shift S, and I'm going to say this is my Targa again, and this is my diffuse. Now then, for my specular, like that. And then ambient. And that's as difficult as that gets. Okay, now what I'm going to do is close down Endo, fire up Dido. Here comes Dido. And just going to move this over to here and just load up my automation hub. Now it's rock, it's not rock walls, so we'll have a look and see if there's anything we can use that's really going to show this off nicely. So where the heck did I put... Oh yeah, here I made it. Right. UDK4, what do we use? Rocks 1. And there's our 4 base maps. Okay, so they're loaded in. Now, we have dirt and scratch as our effects, that's 55 operations. Let's see what else we have. Acid, dried dirt could be good. Standard dirt. Lichen, that's good on rocks and things. Moss, top moss. Thick wet mud, nice. I think dull rock. So many decisions to make. I think the rock could be the winner here. So let's have a look. Dull rock. We'll have that. And match materials by colour. And let's see, we are going to fire that off and see what happens. Tra-la-la-la. Only 30 details to do this time. It was 45 for the previous map, and the first one we did was like 150 or something strange like that. There we go. That is the lovely dirty rocks it's came up with. If I just fire this out to have a look at it on the previewer, it's just quickly going to save all these out as JPEGs for us, which is what it uses on the previewer. There we go. So now you can see basically how the normal and the diffuse are working together. Nice bit of shiny rock there that we built ourselves from that texture. And if I just click that button there, it will export them all off. And that's that. It's all done. Okay, so that's Rocks 1 done. I'm going to fire up my cello. So where's cello gone? There we are. I should still be logged in. And then in Trello, I'm going to mark Rocks 1 as gone over to here, the completed pile. Rocks 2 comes to the being worked on pile. And I'll see you in the next bit. Till then, bye-bye for now.